We're talking baseball with Brian Stahl and Chris Duncan, exclusively on 101sports.com.
Welcome back to 101sports.com with Chris Duncan. I'm Brian Stahl. Time for another edition of Talkin' Baseball. And of course, the big story here in St. Louis, Albert Pujols, tightness in his hamstring. We know he's going to be out of the lineup in the opening game against Houston, but how does this affect the team here moving forward?
Well, he's their best hitter. It's going to affect them, but I think the timing's good. Houston's got the worst pitching in the league. Their defense isn't very good. I think they can score runs without Albert in the lineup. The timing's right. Albert's one of the toughest guys in the league. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back in the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah, and we've seen Albert deal with this sort of issue before, so he kind of knows how to take care of his body. And I guess it would help that the Cardinals put up some big runs with Matt Holliday out of the lineup earlier in the year.
Yeah, they're a lot deeper now than they were in the past. I think they can handle this a lot better than they would have a couple years ago. Holliday, Berkman, they're swinging the bats well. They have a lot more depth. Their offense is first in the league with a .293 batting average. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, and you mentioned Lance Berkman, obviously a homecoming for him returning to Houston, where he hasn't been since he was traded last July to the New York Yankees. There's been some talk in Houston. Milo Hamilton, Hall of Fame broadcaster, calling Berkman out to task. What kind of reception do you think Lance is going to get from the Houston
I think
fans?
he's going to get a good reception. This guy was one of the best Astros that they've ever had down there. He's put up big numbers. He's had 150-something home runs in Minute Maid Park, a .300 average. He's a great player. They're going to give him a good reception. I think Milo's been a little hard on Berkman.
Yeah, it's surprising because even when Berkman was an Astro, as a visiting press member going over, you could see Berkman had certain, there's no doubt he had leadership capabilities and qualities. He was one of the go-to guys. It was blatant.
Yeah, he handles the press well, and he's really good with the media. It's unfortunate that Milo took a little cheap shot on him.
Yeah, so again, I think the fans will probably welcome Lance Berkman with open arms as he returns, which will be good. Hopefully the Cardinals will be able to enjoy more of his success because Berkman's been one of the big stories offensively this year. What else can we look for in this series between the Astros and the Cardinals?
I'm looking forward to see Berkman hit the ball in the Crawford boxes again like we were so used to seeing him do when he was part of the Astros. No one got better at it than him. He lets the ball get deep, stands off the plate. Hopefully he can hit some opposite field home runs.
Yeah, of course, the Astros, a few key players they still have there. They've gotten younger, a familiar face, Brett Wallace, a former Cardinals draft pick. He's now their everyday first baseman. And Bourne in center field, ever dangerous on the base paths.
Bourne's 9 for 9 in stolen bases this year. He's got 17 straight since last year. Brett Wallace was part of the Matt Holliday trade. He's hitting .325 with a .400 on-base percentage. They got an exciting young club. They're rebuilding. Their pitching's not quite there yet. It'll be interesting to see how this team does.
All right, that's Chris Duncan. I'm Brian Stahl. 3 strikes. We are out on this edition of Talkin' Baseball for 101 ESPN on 101sports.com.